So let's just dive right into this explainer, shall we? Today, we're looking at the completely remarkable origin story of Pedri. And honestly, this is a player who is literally redefining what it means to be a modern football superstar. When we look at the landscape of global sports, it's so easy to get blinded by the brightest, most aggressive flashes of talent out there. But every so often, and I mean rarely, a story comes along that basically forces us to look closer, to pay attention to a completely different kind of brilliance. We're going to trace his journey from incredibly unassuming beginnings right up to the absolute pinnacle of the sport and break down exactly why his talent is just so exceedingly rare. Moving right along into Section 1, a different kind of player, rethinking football greatness. Now, to truly understand Pedri's massive rise to fame, we kind of have to hit the reset button on our expectations. We have to completely challenge our preconceived notions of what a top-tier athlete even looks like. Just look at this quote here. It says it perfectly. Some footballers are born with incredible speed, some are born with power, and yeah, we see that raw physical dominance on our highlight reels every single day, right? Players just sprinting past defenders or unleashing these shots with terrifying force. But you have to ask yourself, is that really all there is to the modern game? Well, as you can see, there's this massive contrast between that traditional physical dominance and what we call a once-in-a-generation cerebral mastery of the sport. Pedri's rise completely bypasses that physical arms race we're always seeing in modern football. Instead of relying on raw metrics, top speed or pure muscle, he's operating on an entirely different intellectual plane. He prioritizes this deep, almost instinctual understanding of the pitch.
Because here's the thing, Pedri doesn't just play the game. His unique gift, the thing that makes him so special, is a profound understanding that actually allows him to control the rhythm of the match. Think about it. While other players are frantically reacting to the ball, running into space, or applying all this physical pressure, a player like Pedri, he's dictating the tempo. It's like he's the conductor of an orchestra. It's an ability you literally only see once in a generation. He slows the game down when it's getting too frantic and speeds it right back up when the opponent is caught sleeping. It's this profound, almost invisible mastery that completely dictates the flow of play.
Okay, let's move on to Section 2, the Island Dreamer, Origins of a Maestro. It really all starts so simply. Just a quiet boy hailing from a tiny island. And honestly, this humble context is such a powerful reminder for us. It proves that generational talent doesn't just emerge from those massive, hyper-competitive urban football academies. It can come from the most unassuming places imaginable. Just picture that juxtaposition. A quiet boy from a tiny island, stepping out onto the pitch against the sheer noise and overwhelming scale of global football. I mean, it perfectly captures just how incredibly unlikely his origin story really is. So his whole trajectory was fueled by this endless capacity to dream. And that's what pushed him way beyond the geographical limits of his home. When you combine that relentless dreaming with his innate ability to process the game completely differently than anyone else out there, well, you've got the perfect recipe for a meteoric rise. And the best part? He never even had to change who he was. His quiet, observant nature is exactly what allows him to see angles, spaces, and opportunities that everyone else simply misses. Bringing us to Section 3, Heartbeat of a Nation, Reaching the Pinnacle. Now, when we look at this timeline, the sheer scale of Pedri's ascent is genuinely staggering. I mean, look at this jump. He leaps from the quiet life of a tiny island directly into the absolute fire at FC Barcelona and immediately establishes himself as one of that incredibly storied club's brightest stars. And he didn't just stop there. He actually transcended club football to become the very heartbeat of the Spanish national team. And I really want you to notice that word, heartbeat. It connects perfectly back to his ability to control the rhythm. This quiet boy from a tiny island didn't just join these massive squads, he became the metronome, the driving force that keeps them alive and functioning at the absolute highest possible level. So wrapping up this explainer, I want to leave you with a final, kind of provocative thought to chew on. In a world completely obsessed with speed and power, how often do we overlook the ones who simply control the rhythm? Pedri's amazing rise to fame absolutely forces us to reevaluate what we actually celebrate in sports, because he proves without a doubt that the most dominant force isn't always the fastest. Sometimes it's the one who truly understands the flow, dictates the tempo, and never, ever stops dreaming.